Time now for Media Watch, a look at what's been making news in the Chinese media. A mother who jogged 6 miles every day for 7 months to ensure her liver was fit for donation has had an operation to transplant part of the organ to her son. 55-year-old Chen Yurong from Wuhan in central China suffered from serious fatty liver disease, which meant her liver was unsuitable for transplant unless she lost weight. The Wuhan Evening News reports that her son was diagnosed with Wilson's disease, a congenital condition that causes copper to accumulate in the body. In December 2008, doctors told Chen that without a liver transplant, her son would die from copper poisoning. On hearing this, Chen decided to donate her liver to her son, took up a diet of daily exercise, losing 20 pounds in the process. Doctors say the successful operation was close to a miracle and that Chen's healthy liver could give her son another 30 to 50 years. Now, the Global Times has news that Beijing police have arrested 2 foreign nationals for possession of a large amount of counterfeit US currency. The men, known only as Abulaham and Mohammed, whose surnames and nationalities have been kept secret by authorities, were caught using $300 worth of the counterfeit money at the Panjiayuan flea market last week. The suspects were caught by a Mr. Zhang, a seller at the weekend market. The men handed Zhang $500 in fake bills in 2 separate transactions, but Zhang chased after the men on realising the money was fake and caught the 2 about to leave in a taxi. Police were called and say they found approximately $10,000 worth of fake currency back at the hotel. The 2 are being held in detention and could face up to 10 years imprisonment or a fine of $30,000. A young animal lover who paid nearly $15,000 to rescue a sick tiger from a private circus has been unable to find a home for the big cat and has had to look after the beast himself. The 21-year-old Sima Huijun watched the tiger perform at a circus show in Henan province last month, but after seeing the tiger with a crippled leg and looking hungry, he fed the big cat 2 live chickens. He found out that the circus could no longer afford medication for the 20-year-old animal. He bought the big cat from the circus owner and donated the tiger to his hometown of Danyang in Jiangsu province. But no park in Danyang has accepted the gift, with zoos saying they can't afford the upkeep on the aged tiger, which remains caged at the circus. Now, for those companies struggling due to financial pressures and looking to slash costs, one area of Guangzhou may have found the answer: office sharing. The city's central business district was previously reserved for big multinational companies, which would take up numerous floors in big modern buildings. Smaller companies had to find themselves less prestigious offices in more remote locations. But on Tiyu Donglu in Tianhe, one company occupies just 40 square feet in a large open-planned office. Space comes with 2 desks, 1 telephone and 1 internet connection. For a central place on the floor, the company pays just over $400 a month, while a window location is nearer $500 a month. So far, it's proving a great success, with an occupancy rate of over 80%. Now, from one way of using space creatively at work to something similar at home, Eastday.com has pictures of what it calls the most outrageous hanger holder cluster in Shanghai, but it's causing complaints from residents due to its ugly appearance. Around 190 clothes hanger holders have been installed on the side of a residential building on Guangxi Road to give residents some extra space to dry their clothes. Authorities spent nearly $60,000 installing the iron structure outside the apartment windows, but their ugly look and awkward design have sparked complaints. District authorities have promised to take action, but say they're unlikely to take all of them down. If you ever plan to get married in the traditional Chinese way, you could do worse than follow the example of one British man who recently married his Chinese bride. This eye-catching wedding celebration was held in a small traditional Lingnan-style village located on the island of University City in Guangzhou, where they both live and work. The ceremony contained many traditional Chinese elements: the sound of gongs and drums, lion dancing, and, of course, the clothing. The groom was dressed in a long Chinese robe and watched his bride arrive in a beautifully decorated bridal sedan chair, accompanied by wedding guests wearing Tang Dynasty suits. After the ceremony, in the Garden of Impressions, the 2 lovers boarded a small boat for a short row across Lianxi Lake, a symbol of everlasting love. The bride, who is a graduate from Fudan University in Shanghai, said that getting married in such a grand style was her way of repaying her parents for the love and support they gave her. I guess she must have picked up the tab. An estimated 76,000 people have gathered in Chongqing for one of the largest ever hot pot dinners. Tourists taking part in the 4th China Hot Pot Festival in Nanbing Street combined to consume 28 tonnes of bovine stomach, 23 tonnes of duck intestines and 100,000 bottles of beer. The banquet lasted for nearly 8 hours and diners sat at 1,100 tables, stretching almost a mile long. The Chongqing Hot Pot Association says a total of $320,000 was spent in total, and it doesn't look like anyone went home hungry. And that's today's Media Watch. And in fact, that's all for now from the team here at BON News.